I'm grateful for it. We know there's a lot more to be done. We kind of have a long tradition at Senator Wilson. As a teacher on the other side, not insurmountable, but I think we're going to have to break it into department. Thank you. That was really great. I appreciate you doing that. How much fun? Oh, of course. Thank you.
Clear our way. We have a way over here.
It's a pleasure.
Maybe come over here or
They told us left or right, so I'm still left.
Thanks for your work.
Okay. Okay. Hey, Michael.
Pleasure to meet you. Good.
two audio, two
Trying
channels.
out small town each other.
Say how small.
All right, everybody, we're going to get started again. I'm Trey Baker, Senior Advisor to the Harris Walz campaign, and we appreciate y'all coming here today. This is an extension of a conversation that has been ongoing with this community, and just with how important Philadelphia is to us. I came to you before, and other members of our staff have come to you before, and kind of talked about what we can be doing here on the policy side, on the political side, in terms of visibility and in terms of billboards. We talked about smallest things to flyers in this community. And we're just so proud that you have us here. And thank you to the owners of Booker's for we appreciate the opportunity to also participate in the local economy. And so what we're going to do, the governor is going to give some remarks up front here, and then we're going to turn it over to the mayor and kind of go from there. Governor Walz.
Thank you. First and foremost, thank you for hosting. It's great to be in your space. Mayor, thank you for welcoming us. And each and every one of you, thank you for taking time out of your busy lives. And more importantly, thank you for the work you're doing to empower lives, to lift folks up, to do the things that we want to see. And on behalf of the Vice President, I am grateful for that. I also want to recognize that the Vice President sees you all as partners in this work. You don't need gatekeepers. You don't need folks telling you. You're in your community. You're making it happen. What we need to do is making sure, whether it's resources or whether it's policies that make the difference from the folks who know, that is the best way to do it. I say that as a governor, and we've been able to see that. I would also say for the issues of lifting folks up, letting folks thrive, as the Vice President talks about, being a president for all Americans. We know that right now we're focused on the next 11 days, but just to be very clear, I know the Vice President and all of you would agree to this, that elections are a means to an end. Right. That end is a better society, and you don't get elected to bank political capital to get elected again. You get elected to burn that capital to improve lives and to partner together. And I think this conversation, and I'm going to turn to you, is hearing the things that will do that, the things that will make a difference. And we were in Racine, Wisconsin, and while all the issues are not exactly the same, a lot of the things we did, there's such great work happening on so many fronts. A lot of times it's just the capacity to be able to be that partner that makes access to capital for first-time homeowners, for first-time business owners, or making sure that those mental health services are being delivered as near to the population as possible by the people who know. So I'm just grateful for all of you to be here. A campaign also gives us a time, as you see behind you, to lift up the issues of communities, to make sure. And I always like it when we've got folks to be able to hear it. When you're telling me things, you'll know if those are being echoed in a campaign. And then just to be very clear, I think what's become more clear in these final days is the stark difference between the leadership and the vision and the compassion and decency of Kamala Harris and Donald Trump on this. And just to be clear, we're here, and she's working on a to-do list for the American public. He's working on an enemies list, and that is a big difference. We need to unify, and I don't think it does us any good to deny, and we can lift up. Look, there's issues from housing. There are issues to deal with that have to be there, but that work can be joyous. And again, we can get there. And when we talk children's mental health, I think what overwhelms people so much is if the issue is too big and it seems insurmountable, the naysayers and those that want to breed distrust just simply act like we can't fix it, we can't get there, instead of breaking it into solvable pieces. So that's why I think you've seen this week the Vice President laying out an agenda, an empowerment agenda that takes in our partners. So thank you all for being here. Look forward to the conversation, and we are, as you said, I know we're in the fourth quarter, and we are going to win this. And I say we're going to win it because I believe in the American people. I believe that their vision is more optimistic. I believe it's more unified. I believe it is more hopeful about what we can do together, and the division they're trying to sow. I can't imagine running for President and Vice President of the United States and closing out with hate. We are not going to close out with hate. We're going to close out with solutions, joyfulness, hopefulness, and witnessing. So, thank you.
Thank you. We're going to open up the discussion with Mayor Parker. So I'm just going to turn it over to you.
Governor, let me just start by saying that in this fight for our country's future, I'm happy that you're here today, but we want to affirm that Philadelphia understands the assignment. The Pennsylvania, the Keystone State, you are in the largest city, only city of the first class in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and our plan is to deliver because you all have connected the issues that are most important to Rep. Krajewski, whose district we're in, Senator Williams, our majority leader for council and business. When we stay focused on the bread and butter issues, how do we put people on a path to self-sufficiency? When you all talk about 3 million more units of affordable housing, that's a tangible element to this election that people know that they can see, touch, and feel. We have a gallon of milk, $6 to $7, a loaf of bread, $4. How do we support the small businesses who are going to be the job creators and to help them get ahead? So we want you to know we are the largest of the swingiest states in the nation, and we plan on doing our homework. You all are giving us a new vision for our nation and a path forward, and we're going to get our homework done.
That. And I'll say on this issue that this is solving the problems. We've seen and been able to initiate some of the housing issues, some of the down payment assistance on a state level. And what we have in Minneapolis now is 12% more units, and rent went down 4% last year. Rent's not going down anywhere. This is the plan to do that. And then on the prices, I want to say this. I know that this is an agricultural state too. We're not in the middle of it, but I just want to be clear. My farmers aren't making any more money. Somebody in the middle is taking the money, and somebody in the middle is driving the price. So when the Vice President talks about that, look, capitalism works best when our markets are fair. They are not fair right now in many cases, so I appreciate you saying that.
Governor, the mayor mentioned small business, and so I want to turn it over to Regina Hairston. She is the CEO of the Black Chamber here in Philly to talk a little bit from her perspective.
Thank you, Governor Walz. The Black businesses contribute over $1 billion to the economy. And so we have to make sure that we're supporting them. They provide over 30% of the jobs here in Philadelphia. We have a mayor who is committed to economic opportunity for all. And so we need an administration that is going to further that agenda. We're happy to hear about the opportunity economy because our Black businesses are providing great services, innovation, and jobs, and they need access to opportunities for capital and to make sure that they can compete in the job market. We represent all types of businesses. Last night we supported 300 businesses and we honored them at a reception. And one thing that they said, DEI is great, but without the C, contracts, it does not amount to much. So we need to make sure that our businesses have contract opportunities, not just in government, but in the private sector as well. So we need an administration that's going to not only fight for that, but to ensure that we have access to those opportunities.
Mayor, does the city of Philadelphia do that, making sure that you're contracting out on what the state? We're doing that in the state. We've got more work to do on it.